5:12. Starting a little later than I would have preferred, but going to announcements. At Airbuddy Saturday stream. Yep. Cool. All right. Cool, that all works. So, I was fussing around with this procedural dungeon kit, but that's not what I'm doing today. Today is gonna be spent in the world scene. Oh. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna blow this up. There we go. And let's see. What do I have on the list? Got some interesting things on the list. Been spending a lot of time going over just what I even want the game to be. First randomly select intel, provide types add pieces, blah blah blah. Make sure the mailman outfit, okay. Transfer character builder attributes. Okay. Primary intel is delivered as an envelope full of papers. The mole hunter can read through them, but it's useless until the mole comes to get them and puts them to use. So, here we go. Program the mole hotline. Use any phone to dial a special number that pages the mole for an in-person handoff and a different special number for a dead drop. Okay, let's do that. That's what I'm interested in doing right now. Rusty Chicken says, "What's up, my friend? Hope you're feeling better today." I am feeling better. I'm still a little bogged down. To be honest, you know, a lot of what yesterday was me just not really being prepared to stream. Because I needed to figure out the rules of my own game. So I did plenty of thinking on that, and now I have a better game plan for my game. Game plan. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Let me just reread that to myself really quick. What did it say? Program the mole hotline. Use any phone to dial a specific number that pages the mole for an in-person handoff and a different special number for a dead drop. Okay. So I'm just gonna put that in this so I can have it in front of my face. Kind of put some notes about that before, but I think today is where we really get to see it in action. So, let me see, there we go. We're gonna program the mole hotline. How's that gonna go down? Whoa. Oh, there we go. So right now, I think the only phones that exist are in DC at the motel, right? So these are the only phones that, oops, where'd they go? Those are the only phones we have. Let's see. There we go. Mr. Jukin says, "Lol, yeah, I have written by hand 20 pages front and back of conversations, items to make drops inventory, and have been steady decorating the Speaking Town scene with interior items." Very cool. So cool. You're gonna have a proper, I mean, you do have a proper little Western town in your hands already. You pretty much do. Alright, so I gotta make this phone set up in a way where you could use it to make phone calls. And I'm not really sure what phone calls are just yet. But let's see, let's select the phone. Rotary phone, cool. And I'm just gonna give it a phone component. I mean, not a phone component, an FSM, and it's a phone FSM, so we'll call this just phone, I guess. And the goal here is to make it so that when you call a number, let's split this into two tasks. It says, use the phone to dial a specific number that pages the mole for an in-person handoff. That's 1. And a different special number for a dead drop. That's 2. So this is 1, and that's 2. I'm enjoying Behavior Designer, and I think the actual opposite controller is harder to set up than BD, lol. Well, I'm sure you'll get a hang of it. Program the mole hotline, use any phone to dial a specific number that pages the mole for an in-person handoff. Pages the mole. I guess the thing is, there needs to be an FSM for the mole to respond to. So it needs to, we need to get, quote unquote, my mole, right? And then we can kind of flip a bool for, we can like, how do you do this? Like, flip a bool for, what would you call that? Like a bool that basically says, come get the intel. Time for handoff. There we go. Flip a time for handoff bool. Which then triggers a handoff FSM, I guess. I think something like that. At least Justin is super helpful, like Tony from DevLogs system as well. Those guys are amazingly active on their Discord forums. Hats off to those guys. Nice. A handoff FSM. So what does a handoff FSM look like? My mole. Actually, I guess the handoff FSM. To start in the handoff FSM, flip a timer, and triggers the handoff FSM. There we go. Okay, I think that sounds like a plan. You get the mole, and then you flip the time for handoff bool in its handoff FSM, and then the handoff FSM begins. So let's see. Wasn't there a new Playmaker update like this last week again? I think it was this last week. It's kind of funny because what's today? Saturday. This week, I guess this past week, I didn't even realize that I was behind a version when I was making some new tutorials. Spoiler alert, there's new tutorials coming. So yeah, I was behind it, so I don't know when it came out. But yeah, there was a recent one. Okay, let's take a look. Actually, instead of going to this phone right now, I'm gonna go to character, NPC, and I want to say that NPC hearing. Oops. Oh, why aren't we? Oh, there we go. You know what it is too? It's also that it's a, okay, so in behavioral attributes, it's a very specific thing that we gotta do here. Right here, agent. So I think this just goes to a normal agent. I think this just goes to a normal agent. I think yeah, it'll just have to be a normal agent. Which doesn't yet have a an FSM for behaviors. Well, the mole isn't a normal agent though, is it? Kind of. It's kind of like a normal agent that... So what does an agent do? An agent, I think agents are pretty much wandering, roaming, and doing little, cosmetic activities, and then they'll tail you. Sometimes they'll tail you. Not exactly sure what it is that sets them off to tail you yet, but since we're doing the mole, I think maybe what I can do is just make a I think I can just make an FSM with this thing that I want. So making a new FSM. Trying not to get too ahead of myself here. Let's see. Can I just... Come on now. Collapse all components, that's what I was looking for. This new FSM will be called... What did I call it? Like handoff or something? Yeah, okay, we'll call this retrieve intel. Okay. Did I spell that right? Retrieve. Great. So in retrieve intel, we are going to make a bool test, and this is going to be, I want to say, let's call this bool in-person handoff, and we'll have two bools actually. This other value will be dead drop handoff. Okay, and I guess that should appeal to Coolio. All right, this is running every frame. I guess instead of running every frame too, it could just be a checking thing. So I'm gonna create a new state, and we'll make this as our start state, and then this will tell. We'll make an event here. We'll call it ready for drop, or ready for handoff. Okay, and then this will have a global transition ready for handoff. So it'll be waiting here by default, and then when we are ready for the handoff, it'll send over to here, which will have a bool test. So it'll know which one to go to, like which type of handoff it is. And then I guess we have the two states over here. So let's do one at a time. We're gonna do this in-person handoff. In-person handoff. And what's gonna happen here? So when you call them for a handoff, what they're doing is they're coming to meet you, and they're gonna come meet you, and they're gonna sit somewhere next to you, and then you're supposed to leave whatever it is that you're handing them. So like, you know, if it's documents that you have, whether you're hiding them in a box or whatever, you take out the documents. Let me set the stage. It's like you're sitting there at a bench, you're waiting for your mole because you just called the number and your mole's on their way, right? So all the mole really needs to do is come to a place to sit next to you. And then when they sit next to you, you take out the package or whatever it is that you're handing to them, and you just put it down next to you. You don't talk to them, you don't look at them, you don't do anything with them, you don't interact directly with them. You just put whatever it is that you're gonna give to them down next to you, and then you get up and leave. And then when you're gone, when you're far enough from them, they'll get up and grab the thing you left and then go back to the base. So in the whole of that, and trying to look as far down the road for any bumps as I can. I think all we really need to do right here is, I want to say like set agent destination. Maybe a get agent, or no, I'm sorry, get object, or get position. So dumb. I don't know why I couldn't think of that right now. It's gonna get a position from whatever it is that it's probably gonna be like an empty game object. It could just be the player's position, but whatever it is, we're gonna get the position of that. We're gonna set the agent destination for that. And then we have this path pending event that'll send off to the next state. I think, let me see, path pending done event. It'll just say next. Okay. Okay, we'll go next. And I suppose it'd probably be better to put these over here to the side so we have a nice flow. In-person handoff, I'm gonna put this as A. And dead drop handoff, I'm gonna put this as B. Okay. So this goes to A. And this will go to B, which is the dead drop version. Dead, is it one word? I think it's one word, dead drop handoff. In-person handoff is going to fire off to the next one after it's done getting that position. And then you do, let me just make sure this is, yeah, set agent destination, cool. And then put an agent move just in case, or sorry, agent, set agent is stopped. There we go. Just in case our agent is moving. And then we're gonna do an animator play, and it's walk 1, lowercase w. Damn, that lag is gnarly right now. Okay, so it sets the animator, great. And then we have to do a get distance. Agent remaining distance, right? Storing the result in a new variable. Distance remaining. That should be remaining distance. This one always fucks me because remaining distance. The action is called get agent remaining distance, but then I always end up typing in distance remaining, and then if I use a fucking string to try to grab that variable, and I wrote it wrong, and nothing happens. I'm like, what's going on? So remaining distance, we're gonna store that there, and then I'm gonna do a float compare. The reason I do this is because arrived events, they only send an event when the distance is 0. But I don't necessarily want to send when it's 0. I want it to send a little sooner than that. So we're going to compare remaining distance to something like 2, and then equal next, less than is also next. Yeah, cool. And actually, I'm gonna put these in a different state, just in case that they kind of read it as like, oh, the distance remaining is 0 because we just entered the state or something like that. So I'm gonna put this in the next state, just to be safe. I'm gonna change this to just a finished transition. That'll go here. Okay, I'm gonna put a dash and then set destination. It's a little sloppy for me to do that, but it's also organized in its own way, you know what I'm saying? All right, state 3, then this is en route. Oh, no, set go, or walking. Huh, you know what, I guess, I wonder how often I do put them in the same state. I think I actually do put them in the same state pretty often. Let's throw the dice. Let's throw the dice. I'm just gonna put these back in here. Yeah, we don't need all that shit. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. And then this one we're just gonna call en route, right? That's what I usually do. Just put a little en route. En route to handoff. Then we go to the next state when we do actually get there. And then here, we want that same thing that NPCs do when they get to a place and they take a seat. But, so this kind of, this brings up a good question where it's like, do you design this so wherever the meetings are, it's always that they have to sit down somewhere? Because, you know, I'm trying to think of some places where you wouldn't be sitting. Or if there wasn't a seat available, you know? And maybe that's a part of the game. Maybe that's the way you gamify it, is you say like, no, you gotta find a seat somewhere. Let's do that. Let's just call it, let's see, going over to, say, DC signals. So over here, we'll just copy and paste this shit. Find seat, en route, create package, unleash mailman. So this finds the game object. So there are several things to consider. There are several things to consider about handing this off. Like, okay, so I'm imagining a situation in which you go to, let's say, the Manu PD Lounge, right? And you're going there to do the handoff. You called the number, you told the mole where you are, and actually, it isn't even like a thing that you told the mole where you are. Anyways, the situation I imagine is that like you sit down somewhere and the mole's en route to you. They get there, but wherever you sat, if there was originally a seat open next to you, at that point some NPC can come over and sit next to you. You know, I haven't really programmed in like etiquette, you know, like that would require putting in some type of etiquette. Like, I'm sure there's a simple version of this out there, but like, how do you make it so when they sit at a chair, when they sit at a seat, you know, like you don't go sit at a table with a bunch of strangers, right? I don't think that's very common practice for a lot of countries. There are certain situations where like that happens for sure, but for the most part, whenever you take a seat, you're sitting you're either sitting with people you know or you're sitting alone. So what would happen if you sat somewhere at a table by yourself and then before your mole got there to have this meeting with you, some stranger NPC takes a seat, because all an NPC knows what to do is to just sit down anywhere where there's an open seat. So I'd have to program in some type of courtesy thing. Otherwise, what you would do is you would get the seat closest to the player. But if all the seats are taken where the player is, huh. Let's just do that. I'm just gonna fucking do that, and then we'll see what happens. Because I think worst case scenario on it, honestly, is that whole thing where like they go sit somewhere completely different and then they're waiting for you. And if that happens, which it could, I could program in some type of courtesy thing, or you know, there's a way to put in a failsafe. So we get the seats. This one specifically finds array list, get random, and let me just make sure. I think all seats like bar Tangier, that one's not tagged. Cafe, not tagged. Fancy chair. I just want to make sure that this can be set up in a modular way. Okay, here we go. Tiki chair. This is the best one. So this is tagged as seat. And then, honestly, I need to open it up to take a look at it. And the seat FSM gets owner, which is that seat. So it's actually the empty game object. It's not even the game object itself. I'm gonna change this to untagged so I don't get confused later. I'm gonna tag this as seat. There we go. Okay, so that adds itself, uses the owner, it adds that empty game object to there. So that's what people are referring to when they talk about sitting. Not the mesh, but the empty game object. So now, in the NPC for, what was it called again? Retrieve intel? The en route to handoff, they're gonna, when they get close enough to the player, in fact, actually this is great right here. So the en route thing, I'm gonna set it to a bigger distance. So like the float will be something like, we could set it to like 3. I'm also a tiny bit skeptical too, just because what is this remaining distance really measuring? I think it's okay. It's distance. Okay, that's fine. So when the NPC gets close enough to the player, then that'll send off to the next state, which will find closest. It'll be the tag seat. It's going to find the closest seat and must be visible. Actually, no, I'm not going to check that. That sounds problematic. So it'll find closest, but it'll also be finding it from wherever the player is. So, new variable, mole hunter. Okay. Finds the closest, stores it in an object. Seat closest to mole hunter. And then you do the same thing with this the set destination thing. So it's 2 routes. Get remaining. Let's see. Get remaining. The float. Get position and set agent destination. So we're going to get the position of the seat closest to mole hunter, and then we're going to set agent destination as seat closest to mole hunter. So this might be much easier over here. This get position might honestly just get them. It might just get the mole hunter. So we might be able to just hard code that in. And then after they set that destination, we have another in route. So let me see, get nearest seat. And then here is in route again. So we're gonna have this one more time. And this is en route to seat. And then here we'll have them sit down. And this is where I need to copy and paste that stuff from signals. So it's en route, right? And then I could change this float to 1. Doesn't need to make a cigarette this time. Don't need to do anything with that, so I'll just copy and paste these. These ones, nice. Retrieve intel, paste it in. Parent, sit here. I'm gonna get rid of that, even though it's being used. And parent it to the seat closest to mole hunter. There we go. Cool. This is sit down. All right. Looks good. So, we have it set up so they're sitting there, doing whatever it is that they do. Then they get the call that there's time for a handoff, asks what type of handoff. Am I gonna go pick up a dead drop, or am I gonna go do an in-person handoff? If it's an in-person handoff, we get that position, probably of the player, gonna go en route, on our way over to the player, we're walking. Once we get close enough, but not right next to them, we find the closest seat to them, get the position of that, set our destination as that, and then we're walking towards the seat closest to them, and then we sit down. So, after they sit down, I write any notes for this. Program the mole hotline, use any phone to dial a special number that pages the mole for an in-person handoff. I guess maybe that's a good place to test it, right? So we could set this as our mole hunter. Every mole has has an agent that they report to, which is usually like the player role. So, kind of wondering how I should set that here. Do I have a universal like player? No. It might be in game manager. How should I do that? How should I do that? Oh, we could set it ourselves actually. So my correspondent? Should I write that? Correspondent. How accurate is this? Person who writes letters to a person in a newspaper, especially on a regular basis. I guess, right? Because it's kind of weird. It's like my mole hunter. Like the player's role is the mole hunter, but then like when a mole is saying my mole hunter, I think what that means is not the player that you report to, but the agent that is actually hunting you. So here I'm just gonna put my correspondent. Well, I broke down and bought a Sentient Nature asset pack with their new hybrid trees. It's really nice, better than I expected. Even includes particle effects like butterflies, wind-blown grass trees. Cool. Okay. My correspondent. So what we'll have to do is I'm gonna put this. When player makes the call, set the mole's my correspondent game object value. And then what else? There's something else in here. Also this one, right? What type of handoff it is. In-person or dead drop. It's kind of funny because since this is a... This is kind of strange. Because this is a binary situation, right? It's either an in-person handoff or a dead drop. So why do I have two bool tests when I could just have one, because a bool test is a binary situation? I don't know if I'm ever really going to have a third option for handing off something. What would I even call that? It's like, is dead drop, is in person, handoff. I could put like is dead drop. No, this is probably better because then the false. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna keep it that way. Sets the my correspondent game object value. Also sets the value for either. Actually sets the value for in-person handoff bool to true. Okay, so goes there, gets my correspondent. Remaining distance. Find closest mole hunter. Ah, so this can be my correspondent instead. That was close, right? Or actually... So your game's object is to get the mole, as I understand. So is it procedurally generated as far as how many NPCs? Wait, so your game's object is to get the mole, as I understand. So is it procedurally generated as far as how many NPCs, who has the information, the different cities, order to solve, etc. It is what's the thing that's procedurally generated is sort of like the minutia of those things, because every city will have kind of the same cast of characters. Every city will have a mole hunter, that's the kind of main big, the 007 James Bond agent, that's the spy that's kind of looking for the two primary objectives. One is, stealing the kind of main deep intel that like is just the ultimate secret shit, get those blueprints from deep inside the base. But then their secondary objective is also find out who the mole is. So it's like an offense-defense situation. And the parts that are procedurally generated are sort of like everything in between, like kind of like the means to get to that. Like it's kind of like it's kind of like a bunch of mini games. I really look at this game like a bunch of meta games, and the game just kind of like randomly chooses which one, and then all those like meta games are also sort of procedurally generated. So yeah, like who has the information will always be like the sources, and just kind of yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. And then as far as like the different cities, the order of cities to like solve, like if what you mean is kind of like who's, which city do you actually have business with, you kind of fly around everywhere in the game because all your quests to get intel require you to go everywhere. But then the actual city that you're trying to get intel from is only one. So at the start, like I have that thing in the game manager thing that says at the start of the game, get every city and pit them against each other. So every city has a rival city. And it's not even like, oh, if the U.S., which is Washington D.C., if their rival city is Moscow, that doesn't necessarily mean that Moscow's rival city is D.C. Moscow's rival city might be Berlin. It's more of like a better way I should have wrote it was like target city. So that part's also procedurally generated, where it's kind of like, I should say randomized. It's kind of hard to say procedurally generated like that, but that part's randomized. I think the experience of the game, I would call it procedurally generated, because I'm writing all these rules that lead up to what your sort of like main objectives are. And he said, so the replayability is different enough to not feel like you're just running the exact same order course of events. To some degree. Like, I think what's really interesting is the game that came into my life recently was Deep Rock Galactic within the last like month or so. And sorry, I'm just gonna get rid of this my correspondent thing because I just realized like this is the same variable twice. And in Deep Rock Galactic, I've sunk probably 200 hours into that game in the last month. Like, it's so fucking amazing. I love it so much. It's a really great co-op experience. Anyways, all gushing aside, the thing about it is that it has procedurally generated levels and sort of randomly chosen like modifiers to each level. So like, like what did I play last night? Last night I played this one map that the vanilla version doesn't have any, like all of them have vanilla versions. You can just play the map and do a certain type of mission. But then last night what I played it on was it had an exploder infestation. So like there's these specific types of enemies that like explode. They sneak up on you and explode, kind of like creepers. And something else, I want to say, I don't know, but there's just a bunch of different modifiers that kind of pop on. It's kind of like when you play with different rules. Like, you know, when you play Smash and like somebody puts on like this crazy item, or like, you know, or low gravity, or, you know, super fast or something like that. Imagine if like there was a bunch of those that kind of, you didn't have a choice. They were just randomly thrown on you. And instead of them kind of being super like, kind of like novel or gimmicky, they're designed in a way that do feel very much a part of the world. Like in Deep Rock, I'm just like, you know, I'm going through pretty much the same mission every time. There's only like a handful type of missions. You're either doing like, you know, a hunting, you kind of go and you gather, you get things, you know, you literally, it's just kind of like they have an egg hunt one where you go and find the eggs and you dig them out and you bring them back to your base, right? You have to go get like 8 of them. Sometimes you get 5 of them, whatever. But you're still doing that same thing every time. But there's also other missions where it's like you're trying to repair a mule, or you're trying to refine liquid morkite, which is like building these pipes and stuff like that. And so like you're playing those same missions over and over again. Like that's the same. It's just kind of like the combinations of everything else that happens around that, and sort of everything constantly being like in flux that way, it keeps it proper novel. Mekalina says hello. So yeah, the replayability is different enough to not feel like you're just running the exact same order / course of events. Yeah. But that does start running around. Like even right now, I'm playing Deep Rock and I'm a couple hundred hours in, and like I am getting to that point where it's like, okay, you know, things still surprise me. There are things that I'm still learning about the game, and that's what keeps it fresh. But I am kind of in that zone right now where it's like, I know the course of events. Nothing's gonna surprise me too much. The only surprises I get now is the occasional totally new thing that I just didn't know about. But more often than not, my surprises are just the sort of the chaos of the game. Like, oh, I didn't expect them to throw that boss at me right now, or like, oh, I didn't expect this map to have super crazy verticality. Like, I'm used to, you know, playing this mission really horizontally, you know, so it's kind of, it will eventually run down. Like it's, I guess what I'm trying to say is the game is still finite, you know, it's still a finite experience. Okay, geez. I think this is ready to go. Get my Mole Hunter. In fact, I'm just gonna change that in my notes really quick from my correspondent to Mole Hunter. Okay. And is that the last thing? And it gets Mole Hunter, seat closest to Mole Hunter, specify, right, get agent destination, sit down. Oh, also the seat has to be unoccupied, which I still never... What is the code behind that? How did I make it so... Because NPCs never overlap each other. They only take unoccupied seats. I don't remember how I programmed that. Let's see. Yeah, because they just float compare, set bool value. Oh, because when they choose a seat. Oh, find a seat. Here we go. That's still strange, because it's setting this here is occupied, set value. Okay, so does that mean it's in the seat? Tiki chair? Let me see. What does this FSM look like? It just adds the seat. Array list add. There's the seats. Weird. How do they not sit over each other? They always know to only sit at an unoccupied seat. Should I just accept the mystery? Should I just do that? Should I just kind of be like, all right, well, it works. Louis Gilherme. Hey, Steven, your videos are super helpful, so thank you for teaching us noobs. Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for saying that. How long have you been with Unity and Playmaker? I've been using it for just under a year now. And I've been working with Hutong. If you mean like how long have I been with Unity and Playmaker, like officially? I'm not with Unity officially. I'm with Playmaker, Hutong. Like I work with them for a handful of months now. Probably pushing like five months maybe? 5, 6, no. Honestly, probably like, it's already March. I don't know, maybe like 6, 7 months, something like that. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. The time's really flown by. Thanks for saying that. I'm glad I was able to help. Let's see. Go to character, NPC. I'm gonna check this last thing in the NPC. Collapse all components. Let's get the signals. That's so strange to me. Find a seat. Find array list get random, right? Set FSM bool. Let's sit here and route. That is so strange to me. Because none of these even have... Holy smokes. Seat already chosen. How does that work? Why don't they sit over each other? That is so strange. Find a seat. Alright, let's go by that one by one. Awesome, and I am waiting for Steven to take me under his wing and teach me all he knows. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Gee willikers. I don't know if I know much more than y'all. Let's see. So you get the game object, you get the Manupidi Lounge, you get array list get random. There's an array of seats, so you get one. It's a game object, you store it in sit here. You set the FSM bool of sit here. You don't tell which FSM because it just goes to the first one. You set is occupied, so that seat is now occupied. That's just a bool. But what does that even mean? You never look at the bool otherwise. Like, why haven't my dudes been overlapping each other? Get position, sit here, and then sets agent destination. And then en route, set bool value, seat already chosen. Right? Right, that makes sense. Okay, and then you sit, activate game object, set parent, sit here. You know what? Maybe it's just been luck this whole time. And also, a lot of these dudes, like I'm gonna run this really quick. I'm gonna come back and finish that FSM for sure, but we gotta at least try. I'm gonna get game manager, turn off NPC builder, get the NPC testing spawner, and how many boys do we want to spawn? We want to spawn 20 boys. How many seats are at the Manupidi Lounge? Doesn't even matter. 20 is enough. 20 should be enough. Let's see. I have a feeling that they probably just push each other out of the way because they have their rigid bodies on each other. So it's like, or on themselves. They end up kind of like, you know, just like trying to occupy the same chair, but then it doesn't look like they are. Because some of them do have a janky seat situation sometimes. And I think they are all currently set up to go to the Monopedi Lounge. I hope so. Wait, where the fuck are they? They're not even here. What? Oh, I didn't activate it. Dumb. Dummy. Let's turn it on now. They're all right there. There they go. Okay, they're all on the way to the Monopedi Lounge. And I'll scale up time so we don't have to wait for that. Scale time 10. All right. Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to see if they're sitting over each other. See, are they just getting lucky? What is the deal here? How did none of them, like, where's this guy going? Look, they're all sitting like perfectly. Am I just getting lucky? And they're not overlapping. That's insane. How do you end up at all these seats? Whoa, did you add a dev console with Playmaker? Yes, this thing, my little debug console. Yes, yes, yes. I love this thing. Somebody asked me about that recently, and I feel like I've definitely answered it in the stream before, but like I feel like what I need to do is make its own little video. Yeah, and look at none of these dudes. All right, they're not. Yeah, they're not overlapping at all. That is so strange. All right, I'm just gonna fucking roll with it then. I'm just gonna roll with it. I'll solve that problem later, because it's like already half set up to be solved. If it isn't already, like, did I just lose where my fix is? Okay, game manager, gonna turn NPC builder back on. But yeah, my debug console, it scales time, it spawns objects, it warps me to places, it controls my speed, my jump height, and I think that's it. What else? I don't use it for much anymore other than spawning items, warping around, and scaling time. Definitely make a video. Every time I search for Playmaker Toots, yours always comes up. Good stuff. Oh, nice. Very nice. That's good to know. Yeah, maybe that's cool. You know, I haven't really thought about doing that. That might be a good idea, is actually sitting down and making a little debug console tutorial. I might start doing a different version of tutorials too, because like in the past I've done like these super edited ones, but I feel like now I can just like pop on this style, like stream style, and then hit record, and then try to be as eloquent and sort of like concise as possible. Which everybody knows, I never ramble and I never waste time. Retrieve intel. Okay. So I'm gonna take my last look at it here before I go over to oh, and ready for handoff. It needs to send the event ready for handoff. When the player makes a call, do that, and send the event ready for handoff. Okay. Excuse me. So now we can go to the player. Player pimp. And or is it the phone? Where do I want to put it in? Is this the prefab? Sure is. Okay, so this phone FSM. You interact with it, and then I think... I think it would give you a little UI, right? You would get a UI that asks you who you want to call, and it would also have to somehow get that you are the one interacting with it. So I think in player, where's player at? I do have to kind of refresh my memory every now and then with like player inventory or player interact. Check is grabbable. Submit to hit object. Here we go. There we go. Player interacted. So this tells it the raycast player origin. Set FSM bool player interacted. That's what it is. The player raycast player origin. So every time you interact with an object, the object is told who interacted with it. Just in case that object needs to kind of submit information about you somewhere else. So I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to do, this is the phone FSM. Okay, it gets that. And then it also needs player interacted. I guess that these are kind of the same thing. It's a tiny redundancy, but c'est la vie. Okay, key submit is down. That might be it. That might be it. Let's see if take this rotary phone, edit, and we'll just put these two variables in here. First one is a game object. Right? So when you interact with the phone, this raycast player origin, that's telling it you interact with it. Because down the line, besides also it submitting information about you, it's also good for multiplayer, because in multiplayer you want to know who exactly it interacted with. Key submit is down is a bool, and this is set for just waiting for the player to interact with things. The thing is, oh man, I did that tutorial with Alex. Gonna watch his VOD tomorrow later. Peace, peace, peace. Think you already left, probably. I did a but Luis or Louis, whenever you come back, if you're watching this later on VOD, hop in the Discord, say what's up, share what you're working on, get some help. Okay, hold on. When I said get some help, that came off as like, get some help, you need help. What's wrong with you? But I mean just with your projects. Yeah, so I made that tutorial with Alex, and he has that whole thing of like, you just send an event instead of having this bool, which is less resource intensive, because now that means that something isn't idling on something that's running every frame. I don't know how resource intensive that would be, but it does always make me think. Anyhow, sorry, I just had to think for a sec. We'll put the bool test in here, and it's going to be checking for our key submit is down, and if it's true, we go to next, and it's going to be running every frame, and wait for interact, and then this is going to go to the next state. Okay, so I guess they do just kind of pop up. Is this okay to do? Let's see. UI, canvas, and then UI button. Let's see, focus up on it. I'm gonna zero this out. Or actually, okay. Oh, that's right. What am I talking about? It doesn't need to be zeroed out. So the button goes in the middle of the screen. This button will say, just for shibbles and gibbles, I'm gonna say call mole for handoff. All right, that's all we need for now. Right, is that this fucking display? I don't care. I could see that it says it. Okay, get mole for handoff. This will be activated, so it has to start as deactivated. Now we're gonna go into this state and pop in a activate game object, and the game object we're gonna activate is this canvas, and it's not gonna be recursive, and it's gonna be a reset on exit. And then the button is going to have its own FSM, add component, FSM. I'm not going to, what is this? Let's see, I'm going to call this the call mole handoff button. And then we'll have a new state in here with a global transition, UI events, UI click. God, it's that fucking easy, man. I remember back before I knew you could use global transitions for that shit, I did this crazy tedious way that I saw somebody, oh my God. Cool, so you click it, let's see, don't need it, this doesn't need to be named. This click though, we'll put call mole for handoff. So this is what does it. It's gonna have to go through a few levels. So we're gonna do a get FSM game object. And it's gonna be the rotary phone. And then it's gonna get from the phone FSM, the variable raycast player origin. And we'll store that in a new variable called raycast player origin. So it gets the player who picked up the phone and pressed the button. You know what I need to do too? Your mind starts like just running wild with like all of the holes that you have to patch, or like contingencies that need to be made. And one that I was thinking of right now is like, if you pick up the phone and then somebody else next to you comes over and also picks up the phone, you know, like what happens there? This raycast player origin gets reset. Like what if you're in the middle of something? Like that just throws a wrench in the gears crazy. So like down the line, I know I'm gonna have to do something where it resets, or sort of like, not resets, it cuts itself off from being able to change those variables for a minute. Not quite sure how to do that just yet. Might have something to do with Let me see. Oh yeah, I guess it would have this. So if I frame up on it, where the fuck is it? Base. There we go. So this doesn't have a collider on it, and we're gonna need a collider to interact with it. So easy collider editor. I'll put the whole thing in here. Child meshes. And open up creation. And I think, yeah, box will be good. Cube. Put a cube on it. Select all these. Now put a cube on it. There we go. Cool. Phone's in a box now. Dinah, what's up? Dinah says, sup. What's up, Dinah? How's it going? Just over here putting boxes on phones, you know? You know, same old, same old. All right, finish currently selected game object. I think, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna remove that. Let's go back to creation. Let's do the base. Put a box on that. Phone base. Instead of the whole thing. That feels better. Except it's gonna put it on this. All right, there we go. Thank you, Easy Collider. Cool. So now we have this box on here. It's a collider that we can use to click on this fucking thing. Waits for interact, so now we can actually do that. And then when you're over here, it activates the canvas, and then when the canvas is activated, that means that button is activated. And if we click the button, it takes us here. It gets who clicked on the phone. And I think also back here is where I could put in that thing. So where it says activate game object, I'm also going to, whoa, hey, how come, where did it put my, oh, put my box collider on this. Copy component, this belongs over here. There we go. Shit, I guess I put it on the wrong thing. Hold on, my bad. I need to take that off. Remove that. Okay. Easy collider editor. I want to get the phone base, but I want to attach it to this. Creation. Select all those. Box. How come it didn't? What am I missing here? Oh, I probably added, I'm just gonna, okay, finish currently selected. There we go. Now I have two of them on here. Okay, great. All right, cool. That's all set up now. And I'm gonna put this in here, set property enabled, and it's gonna turn it off. And I'm gonna enable it on this wait for interact. There we go. That way, when nobody's using the phone, you can interact with it. But once you interact with it and it brings up that canvas, now nobody else can use it. It's just you. Mechalina says, sup, Dinah, what brings you here? What is up, Dinah? Okay, this, cool. UI click, call mole for handoff, gets that, and then what's the other thing? So we get, sets the mole hunter game object value. So these are set, now we have a set FSM game object. I almost forgot what we were doing. Okay, so now, after it gets who used the phone, it sets the mole's mole hunter game object value. Okay, so it needs to do two things. It needs to get who used the phone, and then it needs to get the person who used the phone's mole. Specify game object. Where do we get the mole from? There's still all these old FSMs in the player. That's funny. Player status, player inventory. Do we have a... No. I guess the really roundabout way is like find... Oh man, there's I don't think I have an FSM that has that information on it, because usually that information I can get from the city that the player is coming from. Player status? I can imagine maybe some... Nope. Item wheel. Rusty Chicken says, so what do you think of the low poly water I made? Looks good. Looking good. It didn't look low poly. It looked like I see no polys, you know? Which I think is a great thing. To just kind of really go into just the texture of it and not, you know, not trip about. I mean, I don't even know. I guess I don't know how people usually do water. If there is any polys involved, or if it's all whatchamacallit, shaders. But yeah, looking good. Looking good. Player crouch, player interact, vanishing point. Player needs a new FSM. Okay. Alright. Game manager. I'm just stopping by. Dinah, I wish you would stop by more often. Rusty Chicken says, I did it with height maps and a little script for direction. I use a shader on a flat plane. Nice, right. I think that's how you do it. I think this is how you do it. Oh, I bet Battlefield 4 used, or maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know how other games do water, but I feel like Battlefield 4, there might be some, like, meshery going on, you know? I'm just thinking of, specifically, I mean, for that one level where, like, it's, like, the waves have, like, get really drastic, and you bob up and down. Huh. Player builder. Here we go. Looks, behave, choose city. Instantiate player. Does the player... Oh, the player doesn't get added to any array. Let's get random. That's funny. Yeah. Chosen city. That's funny. Yeah, because this whole time I just had it hard-coded in because testing stuff. Get child. Instantiate player. Right. Chosen city player spawn. Okay, so I think that's what it'll be. You'll always spawn at your home city. So we may as well just do a set FSM game object. And we'll probably have a new... Yeah, so it's gonna be... I like the pawn, Rusty. Matches the rest of the game design language low poly. Thank you. I'm trying to figure out rivers, but the shape is giving me a little problem. It took me a little while before I was satisfied with it. For the rivers, I feel like you could get away with just making like long stretches of poly that you could just sort of extrude out, right? And then put that same thing on it, because it looked like whatever shader you're using, like tell me if I'm wrong in this, but like I imagine that it extends past the edges of that water, but then what your shader does is it reads where it's colliding with the edges of another mesh, and then it puts that little foam or white color. If that's how it works, I would imagine that to do rivers, you could just make stretches of poly, unless it gets all funky when there's an edge, a break. I've tried it that way and it looks like poop. Damn, that's so strange. Yeah, I guess I have no idea how you're doing it. I've done one test with water before. Let me see. What is that? What's that thing called? The node shader graph. That's right. I fussed with shader graph for a little bit. So we're gonna set the current player building. FSM name. I'm gonna make a new FSM called info. And variable name, my city, and then set the value as chosen city. Info and my city. Let me just write that down really quick. Player info FSM has my city, and that's all I'm gonna put in there right now. Okay. Player, add new component. Come on. Info, edit, variables, new game object called my city. Coolio. So that gets set. Now we can go back to the phone. Rotary phone. Cool. Gets it here. All right. Get FSM game object. Gets it from the player. The FSM name info, and then the variable name is my city, and then we're going to store the value. Players city. Or I'm gonna put callers city. just in case I have NPCs doing shit with that later. Okay. So... Yes, pretty much how I did it, but rivers kind of change direction, so your plane isn't always facing the same direction. I saw this one dude, his devlog, where he did something like that, where he was just like extruding things, and then like whichever direction he extruded it in, it did, like it behaved how you'd think it would behave. Okay, so gets the player's city, and then you array list get targeting the city. What is the fucking reference? DC moles. Oh, motherfuck. Oh, city NPCs. Please have that value in there. Please have that value. This mole. Okay. I'm going to run it and make sure that that makes sense, or that that actually registers. Well, I added my first weapons as well, the old standard 6-shooter. Booyah! If you can find that devlog on the river, send me the link. I might be able to. Actually, I think I do know where it is. Remind me later, though. I'm going to totally forget if you don't remind me later. Ooh, it did not set. I regret naming these array lists after, because now it's DC underscore moles. All right, I could do the build string thing. Come on. So it's going to be build string first, and it's going to be 2 parts. First element, we're going to convert the city name, and then the second element is underscore moles, and then there's no separator, not adding anything to the end. Store the results, new variable, mole array, moles array list. And the reference is moles array list. Type game object result. Mole to call. Well, I'm gonna run for a bit and work on my project some more. I will shoot you a message, remind you later this weekend. Coolio. Get it done. Get it done, get it done. Thanks for swinging by. It feels like I haven't been on stream for so long, even though I just missed one day. Well, I guess because I was so used to streaming during the week, that last week. Michaelina says, bye, Rusty. Okay, we get that mole array list. Bring this, oh, sorry. I hope that wasn't too loud for you guys. Mole to call. After you get the mole to call, what? What do you do? What do you do? I have my notes, thankfully. Set the mole's mole hunter game object value. Okay. Okay. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna do get mole call. And then this is set mole variables. And then this is send call events. So this is set FSM game object. And what in the fucking world was that thing called? I already forgot. Retrieve intel. So it's a retrieve intel FSM. Oh, you know what I realized? This. Damn, I can't believe that's been going on for 44 minutes. It's crazy. I'm gonna put it back on this. This crazy shit. Here we go. There we go. That's my jam. Retrieve intel FSM. And let's keep this on top so I can take a little poke around. In-person handoff. Okay, once it's mole hunter. And it's ready for handoff. Okay. Bool, and then a ready for handoff. Events. Okay. Coolio. Let's get that rotary phone. I guess I should just start typing it in like this. Is this the prefab? Or is that the prefab? Alright. Button. Set mole variables. I'm gonna copy and paste this. Retrieve intel from the mole to call. You're gonna set the mole hunter, and then you're gonna get this ready for handoff bool. Okay, looks good. Set FSM bool now. It's called ready for handoff. This FSM is called retrieve intel. Setting the value to positive. And at the very end of that, we're doing a send event. I'm gonna make it a send event. Okay. Do I just not have any? Oh, not self. To game object FSM. Specifically. Oh, I almost forgot to set this one too. Holy shit. Multi-call. Multi-call. FSM name. Retrieve intel. Send event. At object, clicked, connected, death. See if there's anything I like from there that I could just use. I kind of want to create a universal event that I can call on so I don't have to make up a million fucking events. So I think what I'm going to do is go to the NPC and then go to the retrieve intel, and instead of ready for handoff, this ready for handoff, I'm going to rename it to activate event. And then I'm gonna set this as a global event. Now, back in the phone, rotary phone, at the button, set mul variables, we're gonna send the event, global events, activate event. Cool. Cool. Okay. Looks good. It looks like everything's set up. After it does all that, it goes... I don't even need to do this last one. Where does it go after that? After UI click. Oh, it should go down to a new state where we deactivate the canvas. We'll do a send event, and then this canvas, or this rotary phone. We'll give this also that global transition. Activate event. So from here, game object FSM, specifying the rotary phone, the phone FSM, sending the event, activate event. There we go. So that turns it off. Okay. Deactivate phone canvas. All right. AKA hang up. So this hangs up the phone. And I think this FSM settings, reset states on disable. Cool. That seems all good. And we'll even have it reset the variables, just to be safe. All right. That looks like a fucking setup. I am excited to press this play button. But is it all in order? Is it all in order? Okay, you get the phone, you click the phone, it activates the thing, you click the button, it tells the mole, hey, do your thing. Okay, so we need to go tell the mole to do the thing now. Okay. We already did that, didn't we? Retrieve intel. Cool, it already kind of does that, right? It goes to activate event, and it checks in-person handoff. Wait, did we set the bool value too? Yeah, we did set that bool value for ready for handoff. Holy smokes, is this thing ready to go or what? Oh shit, I'm nervous, I'm nervous. This in-person handoff needs to get changed to ready for handoff. I need to copy and paste this back. That was close. See, that little spelling error would have fucked me. Rotary. Buttons, set mole variables. In-person handoff. Now we are ready. Oh. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna press play. I'm just gonna press play. He's at least gonna go sit down next to me wherever I am. Oh, you know what we need to do though? We need to put a phone next to wherever I am. So let's put a phone. Let me see, this rotary phone. Let's put it at the Manu PD Lounge, right? Duh, obvious first place we should go to. I'm just gonna straight up put a phone, or I guess you would kind of do it like this, right? You would kind of come over here behind the counter and make a phone call. I'm gonna put a phone right here. Come on. Hey now. Where's my phone at? Oh, there it is. Why isn't it registering on that? I guess it's just gonna have to go on this counter. Okay. Let's see if our phone works. Is our city even making moles? NPC builder. Build mole. Yeah, it does. Oh, of course, it makes one. Okay. All right. No more lollygagging. Hit and play. Okay. Placing bets. Does it work? Any predictions for some weird, glitchy outcomes? Come on. Okay, I think things are pretty much set up. What's funny is I don't have any intel to give my mole right now. So like, that's gonna have to get put into as well. All right, so we're over here. There's the phone. Okay, gonna make a call, here we go. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to click this, am I? Nope. Fuck. I forgot I need to... Okay. God damn it. I'm gonna take the same code from the static NPC when you interact with them. Plane ticket associate. Show available flights. So it activates that game object. It resets the bool value. And then it's funny, this last time I used a more elegant but also dangerous way of doing things. This find closest player, just the closest player who is next to them. And then it enables, it disables rather, all these things. Okay, copy. And rotary phone, button. Actually, it's in this, isn't it? It's in here. Key submit is down, right? Yep. I'm gonna put that up here as well. Oh, it already gave it to me. What am I talking about? I don't need to get that. Okay. So all these get changed to raycast player origin. Cool. And then I still have not changed that fucking reticle, and nobody bugs me enough to change it, even though I bug myself to change it all the time. Ugh. And all these reset on exit? Good, good. Okay. Let's try it again. Here we go. Press and play. Oi. Yeah, how far will I get on this one? Holy shit. It said fail to create, okay. Food boy. Alright, here's our phone. Cool. Click it. Called the mole for handoff. So now if we click on DC, and then DC moles, Melita Philby isn't doing shit. They're just fucking standing there. Why? Let's see. Let's look inside their retrieve intel FSM. Now look at that. That didn't even get fired off. So maybe the problem is in our phone? It got down here. Oh, but the mole to call is none right now. Oh, I never did the fucking city thing for the player. I'm super duper duper dumb. Info, my city. Okay. Right. So the player has that FSM called info. Where is it? Down here at the bottom. And then the variables in it, my city, right? So it's info with a capital I, my city. Okay, there's no cool. And then in the game manager, the player builder, this is what tells us which city our player is from, or what tells the player what city they're from. So choose city. It's gonna have that set FSM game object, the player it's currently building. Whoa, there's nothing in these other states. What the fuck? How is the player being built right now? Wait, what? Y'all seeing this? There's nothing in these states. Oh, it just instantiates the player. Oh. This is how it should happen. We should do a set game object. And then this will be called the current player building, the game object, or actually, let me see. Yeah. Current player building. Or does the instantiate? This makes me wonder how I did. Okay, so NPC builder. So builds the NPC. So you create the object first. And then you set all those things. So player builder. Instantiate player should basically be at the top. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this at the top, and this will go down right there. Set as start state, and then choose city is gonna go down there. Cool. This makes more sense. Instantiates the player, choose city. That should work now. Por favor. Press and play. Make this a little bigger too. Oh shit! Why'd it do that? Why'd it put me in the... Oh. Chosen city. Right. Very, very funny. Very, very funny. So this set FSM game object, give me a break. Give me a break. What just happened right now was it created our player, but then this spawn point was dependent on which city the player is made for. So I need to just change. I could just reverse that, but I think I'm gonna keep this up here. This choose city thing. Yeah, maybe this does go back like this. Like this. Okay. Jesus Christ. And this choose city part. I'm just gonna call this one like set players info variables. And then this goes in there. And when that's done, it goes here. Okay. Oy vey. Because that whole player system needs to get changed earlier. I mean, eventually, because right now it's just default hard-coded into putting me into DC. But the way the game's set up is it should randomly choose which agency you work for, which city you're a part of. So you might start with the game and you're working for Moscow. You might start with the game, you're working for Paris. All right, here we go. Testing the phone. Okay, look it, sent him, there he goes. Nice. Okay, so I was standing right here when I made the phone call. I bet he's gonna sit right there, right? Is that the closest seat to us? Is he gonna sit right there? I'm gonna go ahead and have a seat right here, and I'm gonna wait for my mans. Will he do it? Just gonna sit here and wait. In reality, in the way you'd actually play the game is you'd actually sit like on the other side. You would never want to be seen sitting together. Totally blows your cover. Oh. Was that not the closest seat? Whoa. That's not the closest seat, my dude. Let's see what's going on with him. Close, right? Close? Not bad? Let's see. Environment, DC. Oh no! Inspector, why aren't you showing me my shit? I hate when Unity does this. It's not showing me anything in the inspector. Damn. I don't know how else to find my mole. Damn. Oh, I guess I could just go to the phone, right? Rotary phone, button. I mean, I guess I could have just clicked on the mole right there. I'm stupid. Oleg Hall. Let's find Oleg Hall. Alright, here's our mole. And in the retrieve intel FSM, the sit here game object that they chose. Huh. Wait, what? Seat closest to mole hunter. Right. Sit here. Tiki chair. Finding it. Yeah, kinda. It skipped that chair for some reason. That's the closest chair. It got that one. But why is he, like, where's he going? Let me see. He's on his way to... Oh, look at that. Does that mean he's still looking for the path? That's kind of weird. Is it because I changed his path mid-route? Right, so it fired off to this next one. It eventually got to that place, and then it said, okay, get the player, and then it finds the closest seat to the player. It did do that. It got a really close one, and then it got the position to it, but then it stopped at this set agent destination. I feel like if I hit play, would it eventually finish? Missing component exception. There's no nav mesh agent attached to the sit here game object. Huh? But a script is trying to access it. That's so weird. Find closest. Oh. This is supposed to be set to owner. I don't know why this says, okay, that's supposed to be set to owner. Get near a seat is supposed to be owner. Get near a seat, set agent destination, that's supposed to be owner. Come on. Okay, player. No, not player. NPC, retrieve intel, get near a seat. This is just supposed to be owner. Great. Okay, oh man, I was so close. Let me just make sure these are all set up too. Set agent is stopped, right, tells the agent to stop. Animator play uses the owner. Agent remaining distance using the owner. Float compare, cool. Sit down. Sit the owner, the parent to right. Use owner, sit idle. Okay. Abhichith God, hey bro, how can I adjust the gravity in Playmaker? Are you talking about like for rigid body stuff? Are you using rigid body physics? Here we go. Character controller. So character controller, since it doesn't use rigid body, hold on, let me just make this phone call. Boom. Since character controller doesn't use rigid body, what you need to do is like however you've had jump set up, you would need to like do you have jumping at all with your character controller? Do you have it set up to jump? Alright, is our dude on the way? Is he on the way? Yep, there he is. Alright, so he's probably gonna go sit over here. So I'm gonna sit across from him. Yeah, and I used animation and FSMs. Okay, so don't you have like a gravity FSM or something? Oh, I love how he just pushes me out of the way. Ah, he's going over there again. What the fuck? Let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, look. Oh my god. That's some like legit wake the fuck up, samurai. What is that shit? Cyberpunk. That was a total cyberpunk glitch. Well, I don't know how you actually, is there a way for that? Yeah, I mean like, okay, for example, like my player, It's really hard to say without looking at your project. But like, okay, so my player, the way I have mine set up is like I have a gravity FSM. And this gravity FSM, like I have no idea how you have it set up for your character to jump. So like, it's just really hard to tell. But like in mine, I use this one method where you're constantly bringing the player down. And yeah, it's just, again, it's really hard to say. This is what I have set up. This is my gravity FSM. And you can see that, let's see, hold on. Player jump. This is what my jump FSM looks like. So when I'm jumping, it sets the gravity float to 7, which is kind of like saying like turning it down in a way. So it lets me go up for a little bit. But then as I'm falling, let's see, falling off something, and I also have this thing where it sets FSM float. This gravity is like, it's just really case specific. So yeah, again, it's hard to tell without seeing what you have. And I think, like, honestly, I don't know how much, if this is gonna stick for me. It's working for me like fine so far, but I have been considering lately trying other ways of having my player move around, like maybe. Yeah. It's very case specific. Okay, so I shouldn't have pressed stop there. Let's see. Okay. What did I have the NPC do right now? He got over there. He sat down, but he kept going after that. So this retrieve intel, en route to seat, sit down, should have that, right? Set agent is stopped. And you know the en route to seat thing, I'm gonna change that to 1. There we go. That probably has something to do with it, because he went like past it and then like snapped over to it. So this probably makes more sense to have a shorter distance. That looks like it makes sense. All right, I'll try running that one more time. Thanks, bro. Cheers. Yeah, sorry. I feel like I wasn't very helpful there, but it is just like I said, just so case specific. But pop into the Discord, ask around, see what other people are doing. The link to the Discord is in the description. We have a channel for Unity and Playmaker help. But you should also be able to find your answers in searching like how to do player jump stuff, because usually those tutorials will like inherently have like a section about like what gravity would be, you know. Okay, calling the mole. And I'm gonna scale time 10. Oh, he was already right here. Is that him? Or is that a source? I think that's him. I think that's our mole. Let's see. James Riley. Oh, I hate that this. I have to restart Unity because this inspector is being a son of a bitch. But I could just check if this ran. Huh. So it's actually not our mole. It's some rando. That's a civilian bee. Okay, wait. There's our mole. Oh! What in the fuck? Hold on. Gotta pause it right there to see what's happening. Fritz Hall. So you got there. Animal player set agent is stopped. En route to seat. The thing is, it's not setting him to stopped. Fritz Hall. Fritz. Where's Fritz? Oh, Fritz Hall's a child of an object now. Ah, stupid inspector. It might be worth restarting Unity really quick. Very interesting. Saving it. Closing it. What's up, chat? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Memories of a Spy. Yes. I'm getting into tailoring. I got my measuring tape, and you can't see it over there. It's in my kitchen, but I got a sewing machine. I've been teaching myself how to sew. I'm trying to tailor some dope new threads. Get all my clothes custom fit, you know? Instead of dropping a bunch of cash on a tailor, I figured I could at least try to teach myself to get to a semi-proficient level. All I really want to do is, like, you know, make shirts fit my body better and pants. Magdalena says, digging through free music for some background stuff. Trying to get my app out to friends and family in 2 weeks for a quick test. Oh man, I envy you. Already gonna send it out to friends and family for a quick test. That must feel awesome. Digging through free music for some background stuff. For the app? You're trying to put music in the app? Yes, background music for the app. Deploying on mobile has been a bit confusing because I want to get it out to people without publishing, forced to do Apple Devs program for $90 a year. That's not too bad, 90 bucks a year. Alright, just called the mole, scale time 5. Is that him? Or is that somebody else? I have a feeling that's somebody else. That's a source. There he is. There's our boy. Likely our boy. Where the fuck are you going? And then he's gonna vanish, and then he's gonna pop in his seat over there. Whoop. And then he's right there. And then he's on his little invisible... You dumb motherfucker, what are you doing? And forced to buy a Mac. Got one for $300 the other week. That's That's so weird. That's so weird. Like, wait, why? Why did you have to get a Mac? Lol, squats for days. Yeah. This dude has like amazing. This isn't even balanced. This is just like. I don't know how he's doing. I don't know how anybody does that. That's some like acrobatic shit right there. Okay, got this retrieve intel. If you want to deploy your Unity stuff onto iOS, Xcode can only be compiled on Apple computers. Weird. Interessant. All right, Millie Hasselbacher. Tell me your story. What is your deal? Why are you zipping around on an invisible car? Set agent destination. En route to... Oh, I am a dummy boy. This is supposed to be set to is stopped. I need to set that to is stopped. Dummy. That's me. Okay, retrieve intel, en route to seat, sit down, is stopped. There we go. That will stop our boy now. And that's it. Well, I guess we've pretty much proved that it works, right? Making a phone call. Call Mo for handoff. Scale time. 10. There's that guy. And there's our mole. Our mole still does do that weird thing though, where he goes all the way over to the corner of the room first before sitting down. So at least he comes over here. It is a very strange thing. DC moles, James Norwood. Done, retrieve intel. So if you're en route to the handoff, and then you get there, you find the closest seat, get position, and then you set the... Oh my god, I'm so dumb, bro. How do I keep missing all these things? Am I that tired? Look at this. I never even set the destination. I never set what the vector 3 was. And I've been looking at that constantly. Like, I know I've looked at that XYZ000 over and over again, and it didn't even, like, I'm always like, what is it? Like, doesn't even cross my mind. Never thought to ask what that was about. Right here, C set agent destination. This is supposed to be... Oh wait, hold on, how come it's not showing up? Seat closest to Mole Hunter. Weird, let me see. Set agent destination. Oh, I never even saved it over here. Dude, look at that. Look at me. I am just Mr. Sloppy all over the place today. No worries, you're a single dev. Yeah. I think the term is solo dev, but I am single. It's like a single mother. That's what it sounds like to me. Get position. So seat or destination underscore v3. Right? Or what is this en route to handoff? Wait, what? Oh, you know what? That was just a coincidence. By lol solo dev, my bad. Isn't that funny? That was a good one. Okay, but here's something that's really fucking crazy. This is like totally cosmic coincidence. I never set the agent destinations. Neither of the agent destinations were set. They're just 0, 0, 0 by default. So what was happening is it just so happens that I put that phone in that corner of the room, and if you send an agent to 0, 0, 0, they won't be able to make it there because it's cut off. But if they're in DC, from wherever they are, they're gonna go through the Manupidi Lounge to try to get there, because that is the closest to 0, that they can get from DC. So this whole time, it was that they were going in that direction. And remember, even like when I thought that the seat closest to me to the phone was the one that was right behind me, but it picked one that was like on the other side, which is really strange. And then all that happens is these NPCs are trying to get to 0, and by total coincidence, the seat that I'm trying to have them go by is also very close. It's honestly kind of a mind. I actually don't know really what's going on, but let's do this. So it's a new variable. I'm gonna call this destination underscore v3, and I'm gonna set destination v3. Cool. And the nearest seat. Getting the position, destination v3, and destination v3. That is hysterical. That is the funniest damn thing. So now this should work out. That is so strange. Why do you set your destination via coordinates versus like an array that holds that info? Oh, never mind, you do. Destination via direct coordinates versus like an array then. Oh, I'm not sure what you meant by that, but if it makes sense to you now, then boop. Okay, we're about to see it all come together. It's all about to shine and work perfectly smooth. Your vector 3 locations to send agents. Oh, yeah, I sent them to vector 3s. Before I actually used to use set destination as game object, but set destination as game object doesn't have a, I should tell that to Alex actually. Set destination as game object doesn't have a path pending event. Game object destination should have path pending. But it also might be because it's like a live thing. Like I think it's like constantly updating. Maybe that has something to do with it. It's kind of a, yeah, it's just a weird situation. Okay, call Mo for handoff. Please. This is all gonna come together right now. He's gonna come over here. He's gonna sit in that seat because that seat is the seat that is closest to me right now. I think it's either that seat or that seat. It's scale time. Whoa, that dude crossed the... I've never seen them take that way. Holy shit. Dude, that's the first time I've ever seen an NPC go across the bridge. Where was he even going? Is that him? Is that him? Is that who I'm meeting? You know what? I bet you one unit is too far. Let me see. James Boyd. Is that our mole? It is our mole. Oh, but he's... Wait, what the fuck? Oh my god. When I removed that set agent destination action, I didn't put its path pending event back. There are too many variables. You're right. I am just a single solo dev, one single solitary solo little boy. I'm just a little boy making games. Retrieve intel. Oh my god. Get the fucking nearest seat. Path pending event. Next. Am I missing anything else? En route to seat. Okay, that has next. Sit down. There is no way in hell that this isn't gonna work. Absolutely no way. This is gonna work top to bottom perfectly. It's gonna be the most well-oiled machine running its course right now. It's impossible for this to fail right now. This is just going to work. That was so funny that that NPC went up that bridge. Okay. Just called it. Scale time 10. Yeah, what's with that dude? Where's he going? Why did he go? Is that our dude? Was that our dude last time? Who's that? Was this his shortest path over there? It was him. That's not a source, is it? Nope. That's our mole, and he sat down. That was kind of weird how he came this way. I wonder if I was blocking him or something. Crossing the bridge is a feature that is awesome. Right. Your internet fans believe in you. It will work. I hope so. I hope it works. And that is nice to have people that are so supportive. You've been very supportive, and that's just, I mean, it's all just been really awesome. It does help. It definitely helps. It helps me believe that I'll actually make it work. But yeah, the bridge, I've never seen an NPC cross it. I also need to lower the angle because right now as a player, you actually need to jump on it or else you can't just walk across. The Manu PD Lounge. All right, so he sits down. So that's part one of having a meeting with your mole. Right, so program the mole hotline. Use any phone to dial a special number that pages the mole for an in-person handoff. When the player makes a call, set the mole's center, blah, 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 right? And then part two is add a different special number for a dead drop. I guess I could put that in. Maybe we do one at a time, though. Maybe we do one thing at a time. So let me see. Let me open up my... I could start checking some things off this checklist. Program the mole hotline. Use any phone to dial a specific number that pages the mole for an in-person handoff and a special different... Okay. Excuse me. I guess maybe I should do the dead drop version. That'll actually be cool to do. All right, I'm down to try to, because now that the framework for like paging the mole is set up, I actually think that doing the dead drop should be a lot easier and quicker. I should be able to just copy pasta some shit and get this going. So the way you do a dead drop is by taking an item, taking the intel. Oh, actually something needs to come before that. A couple things happen before that. So right now, when a source gives you the intel, it's just a text thing that pops up above their head. And you read it, and then you use that information for yourself in the test build. But the way the game's supposed to be played is they give you information as an object. So it's like a stack of papers, a recording, a photo, whatever, right? So like you get a stack of paper. It's funny because the item is a stack of paper, but all you really get out of it is like a 4-digit number or a room number. So you get this stack of paper, and that stack of paper has the metadata like that your info is in room number this. And then later on you get another stack of paper, and the only piece of information in there that you get is the key code is this. So you have these game objects that have that info on it, and you need to give those papers, that intel, to your mole. That's what that's why you're paging your mole. You're saying, hey, I got something for you. You need to get this because you're the dude on the inside who's actually going to be able to go do the thing. So you need to be able to hand it off to them. The cheap way to do it is an in-person meeting. That is the way you kind of have to do it at first, and you have to be careful because you can get caught this way. And you can compromise a bunch of shit if you get caught trading secrets with the mole. Or rather, if the mole gets caught trading secrets with you. So this cheap way, this first way, the in-person handoff is sort of like, it's not preferable. The only reason it's an option is because it's all you can do at first. Because doing a dead drop requires you to unlock an item, a dead drop item, or like a dead drop feature. So, yeah, I think doing the only difference between an in-person handoff and a dead drop handoff is a dead drop handoff is you put the thing somewhere in public, you leave it there, then you page your mole, and you don't have to be there, so now you'll never be seen together. And then your mole just goes to get it when there's just nobody around. So that way you guys never are seen together. So I'm trying to think, let me see. Let's open up the NPC. Retrieve intel. So the dead drop handoff would be getting, I think, let me see. I guess this all depends on how I handle the Intel game object. Let's see, where is source signal routine? Okay, so we take care of that down here. In source signal routine, the give intel part right now is just putting that information up on a UI text. A part of me is like, maybe I keep that, right? Maybe you keep the whole thing where the source just tells you the information, and then what you do is you put that information into physical form. So like you write down on a piece of paper or something like that. Seems a bit much if all you're doing is giving a number or like a room description. And it kind of seems more fun to be handed Actually, it does need to be you need to be handed something, because then that's the only way you can really get caught. Okay, you need to be handed something. Write on paper in the game or memorize it in real life? In the game. Yeah. That's something that's constantly on my mind, is like, you know, I have to design this game in such a way that like nothing feels sort of like, I guess, just pointless, right? Like I'm constantly battling that question, right? The write on paper or in the game. Like, are there situations where the player could just write something down on a piece of paper and sort of like skip ahead or do something? It's like, why do you need to deliver this info to the mole or something like that? So it's a lot of like setting up little gates of, like, for example, the mole, you know, you transfer, let me just go back to this. You transfer controls to the mole after the mole has all the information. So you get the room that the top secret documents are in, and you have to send that piece of information to the mole, right? And then you have to get the key code to that room, and you have to send that piece of information to the mole. And let's just say that for right now, that's all you need, right? Once the mole has both of those pieces of information, once the mole has collected them from you, whether it be by dead drop or whatever, that's when you could finally make the last type of phone call, the third type of phone call to the mole, where instead of just paging the mole, the player's controls transfer over to the mole. So you switch into mole mode, and now you're controlling the mole, which means you now have access to the agency, and since you have that information, you can now go and attempt to steal those documents. And it would be such a different experience if you could transfer controls to the mole before getting that intel, right? Because you would never have to deliver it to the mole. If you got the intel, you the player know it, you know, and you can go, cool, now I'm gonna transfer controls to the mole. And since I, as the human being playing this video game, know that information, I don't need to go through that tedious process of like making sure we don't get caught transferring the information, you know? Yeah, that's honestly like those type of questions, the write on paper in the game. Those types of questions are what I've been asking myself a lot more of. Like, I've been asking it to myself since the beginning, but in the past few days, I hit some roadblocks where like I thought I had the logic figured out for that, but it just didn't feel right. But now I do. Mostly. I'm sure I'll run into some problems again, but right now it seems okay. Some hacker generates all 4-digit combos to cheat. Some hacker generates all 4-digit combos to cheat. Oh, like, right. See, okay, so that was something else that I was wondering too, is like on a similar note, right? Of just being able to skip information. Because if you knew what room it was, like, it goes both ways. Like, I have a little like cross-reference sheet on my table back there where it's like, if you have those two pieces of information, which room and what the password to the room is, getting either one of those first would put you in a situation where you could semi-reasonably sort of attempt to brute force a win. You could brute force a win from the get-go. If you could take control of the mole right out the gate, you'd be able to brute force a win. You know, like, you're putting yourself in a really sort of like risky position. It's kind of like high risk, high reward, you know? It's like, yeah, it'd be really cool if you did just magically guess which room and what the key code was. Like, if it just happened to be like the second room you try and the number was like 0120, you know, like you only had to put in 120 different combinations on the second door. So that means you only put in, well, actually you'd have to put in 1,000 or you'd have to put in nearly 10,000 combinations on the first door. But still, you get what I'm saying. It's like, either way, you know, that's really tedious, like, where you don't need anything. But if you just had one of them, you could maybe be in a slightly better position, where it's like, if you knew what room it was, then you could just put in 10,000 different combinations, right? And if you knew how long it took you to type in 10,000 different combinations, you can get a reasonable expectation of how long it would take you to finish the game, like a window of time where you go, okay, as long as my opponent can't win in, you know, whatever that X amount of time is that it takes you to enter 10,000 combinations, then you could rest assured that you would win. And then the other way is even better, because there are fewer doors than there are combinations to use, right? I'm not going to have 10,000 doors. There's going to be plenty of doors, but it's not 10,000. So, yeah, if you can, if you can get the key code first, you could probably win the game relatively quickly if you brute force them. But the thing is, I'm not giving them that option. You can't take control of the mole that early on. That's what all this thinking the past week has led me to. It's like, oh, instead of giving them control of the mole right away, you have to make them wait until they get all the info. If someone can speed run Skyrim in 10 minutes, they can break your game. Well, oh yeah, there's people who are gonna break my game for sure. Like, what I guess my main concern, I never care about game breaking wins. That's fine. If somebody can figure out some way to glitch through a wall, or, like, you know, hit select faster before the menu closes, and so it exploits, like, you know, do some weird thing like that, more power to them. That's great. I would be so fascinated to see that. What I don't want, though, is for people to kind of, like, for the game, if you played by the game's rules, it would be shitty if even by playing by the game's rules, there was some way where it's like, oh, why would I ever play any other way than just go straight to the win, you know? Like tic-tac-toe, for example, is a great example of this. There's a way to play tic-tac-toe where you're damn near guaranteed to win every time, if there's like a certain way you play. And then guess who? There's sort of like, there's a branching tree of questions that if you ask in that order, as long as you're the person who went first, you'll win. That's the only type of thing that I don't want to do. You know, I want to kind of put as many really wild card variables into the game, so as long as it's not being broken, you know, like exploiting glitchy type stuff, then it would be really, really hard to sort of like figure out who's gonna win or lose at any given moment, or figure out some like super optimal path. Like, you could definitely like master it and like get better at it, but like, but still have a lot of like stuff left up to chance. But yeah, that the speedrunning my game, and when people break it, that I would love to see it. I would love to see people like glitching through things, like all the crazy shit. It's like, I can imagine somebody being like, oh, and then if you just like put a dead body inside of a camera, and then you throw that camera off this building, and then that despawns them, and then suddenly their destination gets set to this or that, and then out of nowhere, all the sources give you all the intel at once, and then you could just run into the building, you know, some crazy shit like that. I would love to see that. Where do you get your game design experience from? Playing video games. That's all. I kind of made some games when I was in high school. For a few months out of high school, I made some games. They're like these little platformers. I made a little it's kind of like Worms, you know, the game back then I always thought it was like Lero. But it was kind of like a 2D platformer battle royale game that I made. I was using Metal Slug sprites. But otherwise, yeah, it's just been playing video games. That's pretty much all my design experience. Yeah, I know Worms. You know, I barely played it for the first time ever. Or I should say I tried playing it. I tried playing the OG Worms with some friends, but it was a little broken. So we had to play the new one. And then the new one was actually kind of fun. But then what sucks is you can only play with 3 people at a time. And we're like, what the fuck is that? So then we stopped playing. But that game's pretty cool. Lero was the jam though. Liero. My friend would bring it over. He brought it over once, but then he copied it to my computer. He brought it over the first time I ever played it. It was on a floppy disk. It was one of the 2-inch, you know, the 2.5 inch or whatever, not the truly floppy disks, you know, but the kind of like you know what I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so how am I gonna do this? How are you gonna put the Intel? That means that Intel, Oh, actually, this isn't so bad. Okay, so it gets the Intel, right? Random Intel string. And instead of activating this canvas, you know, I'll keep that on, this canvas. But what'll happen instead is they'll do a set FSM string, I think. Okay. I'm gonna write this down so I can write down the logic really quick and I can just blaze through this. Okay, oops. So first it's gonna set FSM string for the actual piece of Intel. 2 is, I don't even know how I'm gonna use that to display yet, but I'll figure it out. Set FSM string for the actual piece of Intel, and then create object, right? Create the whatchamacallit, documents, game object, and spawn it in front of NPC like the way, oops, sorry, am I hitting this mic? Spawn it in front of the NPC like the way sources spawn the photo. Games on floppy disk, wow. Is that judgment? Are you judging me? Create documents, game object, and spawn in front of the NPC like the way sources spawn the photo, and that's it. I think that's it. They just give it to you like that. Maybe I can just solve that answer right here then before I jump into it. Set FSM string into, and we'll put 3. How does that information get displayed? So if you have that document, if you right click on it, should it just display a canvas? Okay, yeah. Holding use with documents, oops. Equipped brings up a canvas that displays its document image, and that image has a blank spot where where a text game object can fill in. That's gonna be kind of tricky. Maybe not, maybe not. Okay. This text is set by the Intel string. Cool. I think that sounds like it works. You know what? I'm gonna go as far as to say that I should just fire up Photoshop and make a little test document. So let's see, file, open recent, DC textures, Moscow, item textures. All right. Package, reference backups. Let me see. Open recent, departure board, rangefinder, character dossier. I think character dossier kind of had a good, yeah. So I'll have like a thing similar to this, except it'll have, let's see. Is this what I want? This is what I want, right? And we're gonna put that in item textures. Holy smokes, way bigger. There we go. What is this? Okay. Dope. Gonna call this source intel. Where is that? There it is, last one. Okay. So I might even, you know, I'm just gonna do that because, you know, I'm gonna get carried away with the design of it, and I think that's fine for right now. So I'm gonna quick export as ping, spy game, textures, and I think it's fine if I put it on, let me see. Character textures, interfaces, and overlays. I'll call this source intel. Okay, that's not bad, right? And then we'll, let's see, UI. I guess it is kind of like UI. It is kind of UI. It's like, it's weird because it's UI for an item. I'll put it in there still. That's a fine place to put it. Let's see, open file location, right here. All right. So I'm gonna take this source intel, change it to 2D Inspire. Actually, let me see. What if I revert? Where is our Intel or top secret? Top secret document. Nice, it's already a prefab. Okay. And here's the thing, I'm gonna duplicate that and then take this and remove this mesh render, remove that component. Gonna remove, and then on this one I'll remove these two. Remove. There you go. So now this is just the nice. Let's zero it out. Zero that out too, why not? There we go. Cool. So we got our, this is just a top secret documents, just broadly. That's just what this is broadly. And you can put whatever you want in it. So I'm gonna call this _mesh. And then as a child of this though, I'm gonna go UI canvas, and then in canvas, I'm gonna go UI image, and then on canvas, or on image, I'm gonna do UI text. So, just so we can actually see what it looks like on the thing, I'm gonna create a camera, so we can see over here. How come it doesn't show over there? All right, fine. So let's see, image text, Intel text, and then this is sort of like paperwork image. Okay. So we'll call this documents. And then if you're holding it, how do other, it's been so long since I've programmed an item. How do you do it? Holding. Just get mouse left. Okay, cool. Nice, nice, nice. That's all it does. Sounds good. Documents. So you do a get mouse button. Sure. What did I put for the matches? Should I just copy and paste it? Or match book? Get mouse button down. I did use that. That's, surprised. I am surprised. That's fine. So do a get mouse button down, left, send event, takes you to next. Okay, send, goes off to here, and then here we'll have an activate game object, and it'll activate this canvas. It's not recursive, and maybe we reset on exit. Something like that. And then we also want a phone. Let's see. I want to copy this stuff, this enable FSM stuff. Documents. Cool. So it turns off all my player controls things, so we can actually click around on this. And now we'll actually get this so we can see it. Let's see. All right, so this is our canvas. And let's plop in our intel. It's on the image. Oh, it has to be a sprite, that's right. It does. Apply. Image. Sprite. Okay. Preserve aspect. Nice. Width, let's put it as set native size. That's way too big. Let's put 350, nope. 100 by 100, 200 by 200. That works out, 200 by 200. Okay, so you put that down, and then the text on top of it will go right. Actually, let's see. So width, I'll change it to like 120. Yeah. And I guess let's just keep it right in the center, because why not? It'll be centered like that. We'll keep it as Arial. Actually, what are our font options here? I'll just keep it as Arial for now. I'll change my own font later. You know what maybe it should be though? Maybe instead of UI text, let's do a Text Mesh Pro. What am I thinking? Call this Intel Text, Text Mesh Pro. And Shift Alt center it. Center it. And then width 120, font size, something like that. This is all right. I like this. That's turning out okay. And let's put this like that. No outline. Cool. Center it up like that too. Put it up a little bit. Nice, nice, nice. And just in case we need some height, I'll put like 100. Cool. And then Intel goes here. All right, so that's kind of what it'll look like when you get a document. Not bad, not bad. Okay. So when it activates it, let's see. We'll also have a. Are there any Text Mesh Pro? Those are all like custom, huh? UI. I think I have to do, let's see, set Text Mesh Pro. UGUI text, that's what I want. And we'll put it up here. It's gonna be setting this one. with a new variable we'll call piece of intel underscore string. I'm gonna put that in here so I can just copy paste it after in the documents FSM. On the top secret documents game object. Oh man, I can't believe this feels like it's coming together pretty quick. Okay, so after I set that, I could just turn this off, right? Oh, you know what I need is get mouse button up. Put this at the bottom. Actually, put it at the top. So when I let go, it'll send back. Send event next, result, and update only. Okay. What is this update only? Unchecked to run when entering the state. Okay. All right, it looks like that'll work. I just gotta deactivate this by default. So if a cool way to test this right now would actually just to toss this in the scene. I'll put them right here, and I can pick them up. I'm just gonna put some documents right there. Cool. All right, let's run that and see if I can just pick it up. There's not gonna be anything written on it right now because nothing's getting applied to them, but when somebody actually makes the documents or like sets them, they'll have something. But I just wanna make sure that the user interface thing works out. I'm gonna wait for my atrocious frame rate to pick up. There we go. All right, here's our documents. You can pick them up, right? Look at the documents themselves. You can equip them, and then you can look at them. Right, okay, that's really tiny. They need to be bigger. That needs to be a bigger image. And if you let go, it sets back to normal-ish. Oh, it needs to lock my mouse again. But at least that's the gist. There we go, right? If I want to look at them again, click. Okay? That's how you look at documents. Cool. So it needs to set the mouse cursor back to being locked, and then I feel like I should have a global game object for the reticle. Doc's looking good. That was speedy. Ooh, right? Thank you. Thank you. I'm just gonna pop that set mouse cursor in, and I think that's super solid. Boom, boom. This is gonna screw me over so hard how often I just put the set mouse cursor action and then I manually enter whatever the reticle is. This means that I'm gonna have to go through every time I used it and set it to something different. It's like, Steven, why aren't you just using a global variable maybe? Or like, just getting it from somewhere else instead of hard coding it? Well, that'd be a really good question. Okay, dope, so that's all set up. So now, ooh, that means you can, oh, it's gonna be dope. NPC. Come on, motherfucker. There he is. All right, retrieve intel. Retrieve intel? No. source signal routines. Over here, give intel. It's here, it's here. So what is it? Set FSM string for the actual piece of intel. Okay, maybe this give intel. Check if intel is given. If it's false, it's waiting around. Okay. Let's see. Does it need to be separate states? Maybe it'd be better if I just did this. Let's just do it in one state. So it. Oh, I'll copy and paste this. DC signals. Oh, no. DC quests. Here we go. Give photo to player. Alright, all it does is it creates the object. That's all it does, just a create object at the object spawner. Okay. Nice, very simple. Very, very simple. So do a create object. And it's going to be our documents. And then the spawn point is going to be object spawner. And we're going to store the object in intel to give, or current intel to give. And then what, then what, then what? And then you do set FSM game object. The game object is current intel to give, FSM name, what is it called? Documents FSM. And the variable is, wait, shit, what was, oh, there it is, piece of intel string. Ooh, this is gonna fucking work. Oh my god, come on. Set value. Random intel string. Where is it? Wait, what? Oh, I'm doing that wrong. Not set FSM game out. Set FSM string is what I want. My bad, my bad. Okay. Documents. Piece of intel string. Set the value as random intel string. Oh shit. Oh shit. Come on, I can't click fast enough. Current intel to give. Oh man. I'm so excited to see this work. Oh, but I do want to make that thing bigger because that shit is so tiny. Okay. Set text mesh pro UGUI text. I think that's good. I think that's solid. They'll just give you the object. It'll have it there. Okay. I'm gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna make sure that that image is big enough. Width 500? 500? Okay. And then the text also width 350? It's kind of hard to gauge all this right now. I'm just gonna put, oh, it's font size, right? 20. Okay, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. I'm gonna hit run, Here we go. Fingers crossed. Oh shit. Okay. Come on, frame rate. I am just before I run into this whole mission right now. I'm gonna grab these, add them, click. Okay, cool. They pop up nice and large now. Nice. I'm gonna drop those. Don't want those. Okay. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Alright, where my mailman at? Scale time. Okay, cool. Oh shit. Did you see that? Oh fuck. Wait. I need to make that by default turn off. It needs to, the FSM needs to be off by default. Wait a minute, what? Hold on, I forgot how that works. Okay, I need to turn that off really quick. Oh boy. House of Cards for sure. I need to back this fucking project up tonight. Tonight for sure. Alright, just gonna turn off that FSM by default. Right, that's how everything else is, like the matchbook. Let me see. Yep, you turn off the FSMs by default. I'm not gonna ask questions about how that all works. I don't really remember how that all works, but I just remember you turn the FSM off. It'll turn on when you're using it, and it'll turn back off after. Let me make sure that doesn't happen right now. Come on, give me my frame rate. Give me my barely acceptable frame rate. Okay. Heading to inventory, and you click, you can see it, cool. If you drop it, cool. Clicking and nothing happens anymore. Great. Okay. Here we go. Scale, time, 10. Come on. Boom. Give me my matches. Thank you. I hope our source is already there. Do we see a source anywhere? Nope. Let's see, is he inside? There he is. Cool. Light that smoke, stoking up. There's our photo of the person we're supposed to kill. They are... Where are they? Maybe they're in DC? Okay, maybe they're here. Let's go look around. Just gotta find a boy in gray. Nothing over there. There's a normal dude over there. Nobody over there. That always makes me laugh seeing the ticket associate at the airport way out there. Okay, player warp. 1, let's try here first. Okay, it doesn't look like they're in London. 2, they might be in Paris. Oops. No. Let's see. Could be over here on the other side. Not over there. And not over there. Player warp 3. Are they in Berlin? It looks like maybe, is that one? No. Doesn't look like they're in Berlin. Player warp 4. Okay, maybe they're in Moscow then. There they are. Cool. Spawn item 0. And I'm sorry to have to do this. Plop! Player warp 0. We're going back to DC. All right, moment of truth. That's our guy, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, go up next to him. Puts the documents in front of us. Thank you, sir. And then add the documents to the inventory. Click. Nice. So that is secondary. That's information about the mole. So this classified information. Our mole smokes cigarettes. It fucking worked basically the first time. That feels amazing. Okay. Right? And I could switch my guns and use everything else. Great. It doesn't. Look at that. Our classified documents smoke cigarettes. Player move or player look is still activated. That's kind of weird. That's okay. No big deal. Nice. Ooh. That feels great. I can't help but just look at this document constantly. Classified, smoke cigarettes. Man, magical feeling. Just got that intel. So then what you do is you go over. So like you have this with you, right? Got this. Okay, put in my intel, and then you're just walking around, and then you know, if we're doing the dead drop thing, the thing is the dead drop situation. These documents you can't really like. What I imagine you do is like dead drop situations. You can also do stuff like this, right? You put it in the trash. You put it in places. That's why I put these trash cans here. And then you should be able to like fetch them out, you know? So it's like, whoop, just gonna throw that in the trash. What would be hysterical is like eventually one day putting in like a trash collector. So you could be like, all right, pretty standard place to hide intel. Put it in the trash. My mole will know to go there and pick it up. But then, yeah, if there was somebody who went to collect the garbage at the end of every day and just took your documents and threw them in the like proper threw them out, you know? Cool. And then they get it and they look at it and it's like, cool. But they wouldn't be getting secondary intel. You wouldn't call a meeting for secondary intel. You would only be calling a meeting for primary intel. Wow. That works. Look at it go. Oh. Alright, so use documents. Nice, that all works. And program the mole hotline. The player makes a call. Game object value sets the person to true. Okay, that all works. So we can check some things off the list. Primary intel is delivered as an envelope full of papers. The mole hunter can read through them, but it's useless until the mole comes to get them and puts them to use. The handoff involves taking the item out, putting it down, and letting the mole pick it up. This gives any tails a chance to photograph the moment the player is holding the item to hand off. Item must have the is intel bool true for the NPC to take the photo. Nesting items should pass this bool off. Okay. Let me see. You know what? I believe that is a good place to call it for today. I gotta make dinner, and yeah, I'm gonna try to work on this a little bit more tonight. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll try to get on sooner than later because honestly, the only reason I came on this late was because I was literally sitting over there all day, just thinking and listening to music and scribbling down ideas, trying to figure out the logic behind this part of the gameplay. Because I hate, yeah. Sometimes you think you have it all figured out, and then one little wrench in the gears kind of throws things off. But I think that that's pretty much solved. I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to come back tomorrow and get right back to programming. So yeah, hopefully I'll hop on sooner than later. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Macalina, if you're still there, thanks for swinging by. And I am indeed a poor little solo dev, and thank you for reminding me. That is a good thing to keep in mind, and I think that's a good thing to tell everybody else too. Anybody else watching this, whenever you're beating yourself up and you're the only person working on the game, or if it's just you and a friend or something working on the game, like, maybe cut yourself some slack, because it's kind of crazy to be like, I used to say, like, I heard Paul Thomas Anderson say it's a miracle anytime a film gets made. And I agree with that. It's a fucking miracle anytime a film gets made. No matter how much you hate it, if it's a shitty film, if it's just like one of the worst things ever made, like by your opinion, it's still crazy that a bunch of people got together and they made this thing. You know, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to make something. Even when there's like the least amount of effort put in, it's still a lot of effort. And so I feel the same way about games. So that's a good thing to remember. What Macalina was saying earlier. It's like, just, yeah, remind yourself that it's crazy that you can get any of this done. It's a lot of work. Cut yourself some slack. At 3.5 hours, I'm signing off. Macalina says, see you tomorrow. I say see you tomorrow as well. And to the other two people in chat, because it looks like there's only a handful of you here today, thanks for swinging by. And if you're somebody who's just lurking, go check out the Discord. I have a link to the Discord in the description of this video, where we all share projects with each other, and you can come in, pop in for some advice too, some help on Unity and Playmaker stuff, or if you just want to say hi. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you really soon. Wait, same thing they say about hardware dev. Makes sense. I can imagine on any big endeavor. That makes sense. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. Get some good rest. Eat right. Drink lots of water, but not too much, because I actually got overhydrated recently, and it's really shitty. You get a headache, and you can actually die from that shit. But drink enough water, and don't eat too much sugar, and don't eat too close to bedtime, and go for a walk. Get some sunshine. All right, everybody. Peace, peace, peace.